Since the opening of Centennial in 1999, the school has had a very rich history of athletics. In part, this is because there has always been great support from the administration towards athletics. All three of Centennial's principals, last year's inductee Carol Levitt, Gary Velasquez, and Trent Day, have strongly supported athletics, and support has paid off in the classroom as well on the field, mat, and courts. Centennial has sent many young men and women to college by way of athletic scholarship. And over the past 20 years, Centennial has won an amazing 84 region titles and 42 state titles. I was just talking to someone about that. You go around and look at any of these other schools in town, and their flags are still in the front gym. We're in the back gym now. Centennial's first state championship was in women's cross country in the year 2000. That was only the school's second year in existence. We will recognize that first championship team tonight. For several years, the idea of creating a Centennial High School Athletic Hall of Fame has been discussed. In 2017, it was decided that it was time to make it happen. To celebrate our great athletes past, a committee of 10 was formed, including teachers, coaches, and administrators who set guidelines for acceptance into the Hall of Fame. Per the committee rules, the nominated individual or team has to have at least 10 years post-graduation from Centennial and had to have excelled in their sport and made great contributions to Centennial athletics. To be elected to the Hall of Fame, the nominee has to receive 100% vote from the Hall of Fame committee. Tonight we honor those individuals as our second Hall of Fame class.
Hi, I'm Allison Carney-Freed, ran cross country here and graduated in 2002. Oh my gosh, I have so many favorite memories. How do I narrow them down? I would say hands down, all of my favorite memories revolve around my time spent with the cross country team. We were inseparable. It was the second year that the school had ever been open that we kind of came together and just knocked it out of the park, running-wise, but just all the fun stuff, the goofy things we did at lunchtime and the relay races after school and just all of the telling coach we were doing practice when we really weren't. It was fun times.
Please welcome Coach Bill Miller.
You know, they did it. They did a great job. They worked hard. They bought into the unknown, and there's no guarantee you're going to win, but they did that. Game plans are great when they work. You really don't hear about them when they don't. We matched up. The girls ran their hearts out. They believed. You guys did it. I just drove the bus. So, hey, congratulations. You guys are awesome. It was a great run.
Just last week, I was talking to my 50 trainees who are trying their best to become airmen in the United States Air Force. And I told them right before they're about to run their mile and a half, right? So like, really, what's a mile and a half? And I told them that, look, I used to be an Air Force, I used to be a cross-country runner.
I think all of us just have an extreme connection to this team and this school and our coaches. I went on to Nevada to run. Definitely would have been at Nevada because he always tried to force me to jump up in distance, and I fought it tooth and nail. But I ended up being an All-American in a mile and 800 and setting records, and it's 100% due to him and his team.
Miller is awesome, but I also wanted to bring up our parents who are amazing and who were at every race, and they were running around the course too, cheering for us, and it's awesome. So, thanks, parents.
Yeah, this has been such an amazing night. Parents, that was a good call. They're awesome. The thing that made this team so special, which I think has been hit on a lot, is just the family that we were, that we cared for each other every morning, noon, night, pasta dinners, late night calls, hair to the extreme. Like I went to kindergarten braiding class to the next level. It was incredible.
All right, our next inductee from women's basketball, a 2005 graduate. Oh yeah, Ashley Blake.
my name is Ashley Blake. I went here and played all 4 years. I was actually one of the 4 freshmen that won state 4 times in a row. My most memorable moment would probably have to be going 34-0 my freshman year and winning state for the first time in years for Southern Nevada. So Centennial, there are memories that will be with me forever, from coaches to teammates to staff and friends, and I just really appreciated my time here at this school.
And Ashley Blake was a 4-year starter and 4-time state champion for the women's basketball program from 2001 to 2004. As a freshman, she was part of a team that ended a 22-year drought, bringing home the large school state title and double overtime victory in Reno, Nevada. It is with great honor that I recognize our second inductee from the women's basketball program here at Centennial High School, Ashley Blake.
Well, good evening. I'd like to start off by giving thanks to the men above, who is the head of my life. It's a blessing and honor to be here and experience a memorable moment with beautiful individuals such as yourselves. I'd like to thank my family and friends, mentors and coaches. You've all provided unconditional love, support, and endless encouragement throughout my journey in life. Before I exit stage left, I'd like to extend a huge thank you to the committee for selecting me and congratulate my fellow inductees being honored tonight. I'm sure we can all agree from the famous LeBron James quote by stating, "We are more than athletes." Thank you and God bless.
Ashley was selected as Gatorade Player of the Year her senior year, and back then, they were given actually just a plaque or a trophy. Right after she graduated, they started also receiving banners that they hung in the gym for the kids, and I never thought much of it because obviously those kids that graduate, and I don't want to say exit the program, that you never ever forget about them, but I remember speaking to Whitney one night about it. She said, "Yeah, Ashley's mentioned that before, that she don't." So I said, "Hang on, Whitney, I think we can do something about that." So I talked to some Gatorade reps and I asked if we could replicate the banner or banners that are hanging down in the gym, and I said, "I think we could get this hung up." Finally, 13 years.
I graduated in 2007 and I played tennis and softball.
I was lucky enough to coach girls tennis from 2000 to 2006, and I was privileged to be able to coach someone like Teresa. She played varsity girls tennis from 2003 through the 2006 season, freshman through senior year, and she was always a starter. At the time she graduated, she held all the records. Teresa was a coach's dream. As Coach Mitchell said, humble in victory, gracious in defeat, and one heck of a competitor. It was truly a pleasure to be able to coach Teresa Healy.
Hi everyone. Yeah, it's not so much of a secret, kind of is. I work for the Secret Service. It's whatever you want it to be. So firstly, I'd just like to thank the Centennial Hall of Fame Committee for taking the time to organize all of this. It's truly an honor to be here, and the amount of dedication and time for each individual put in the effort to do this, to take time out of their Saturday, weekends and everything. It's an incredible honor to be up here. You know, last night at the tailgate, I had the opportunity to talk to Coach LeVary for a long time, and we caught up and reminisced about, you know, all the practices and games and that one tournament that even got snowed out. And, you know, you never forget how much passion he has for the game, and you can see it up here. We're still pissed about Palo Verde, so am I, 11 years later. I just want to thank you guys personally for all the time you spent with me and all the lessons. And to my family, thank you for always supporting me. We all live in different places now, so it's nice to be here together, and guys have always supported me, and thank you for being here tonight. And lastly, again, just want to say thank you to everybody on the committee and the coaches for doing this amazing event. It's incredible, and just honored to be here. So, thank you.
Next up, we have a 2004 graduate baseball player, J.C. Leach.
I was talking to Ashley Blake last night, Ashley and Whitney, and we found it really interesting that, in college you talk about how you build these lifelong relationships, but that's something that typically happens in college. But a bunch of us, we rooted those relationships in high school, and I'm still really close with a lot of my friends from high school, and I would say that's probably one of the best experiences I had. Is just the relationships that I was able to build.
And all the recipients last year and all the recipients tonight, I don't know if you've all seen the common thread that's running through everyone. They're all talented to be sure, but they all have high integrity. They all have solid family values. They all have high motivation and a great work ethic and support from their families. And that's one of the things that's why they're up here. I'd like to call JC up here now. It was a pleasure to coach him. And
I'm super thankful to be here. Thankful my parents were the best support system. I remember that freshman year, Coach Jerome mentioned, where I was injured a little early on, and I was having a really hard time wanting to get to the lineup. And I had a heart-to-heart with my dad. I just broke down, and he's always been my biggest support. So, Dad, I love you. Mom, love you just as much. I love you, Megan, my son JB. One of the best things about playing sports is now I get to coach sports. Thank you, Coach Jerome, for getting the best out of me, because I don't know if anyone else would have been able to do that. You pushed me the right way, pushed my buttons the right way, and thank you for that. So, congratulations to all the other inductees. Thank you to the committee. Thank you very much.
All right, so I'm Maggie Lavery. I played basketball and softball here at Centennial, graduated in 2002. Part of the second graduating class. Since then, went to school at UNLV, played softball, been coaching softball since then. Coached softball at Boise State, head coach there now.
I cannot think of a softball player that I have coached that is more deserving of this honor. Maggie was a very special player and an even better person. This summer, Maggie was named head coach of the Boise State Broncos. And suffice it to say that I cannot wait to watch and support Maggie in her new role. At this time, I would like to welcome Maggie up to the stage and congratulate her and her family members.
Much like JC, you can't see anyone out there. This is weird. I didn't prepare much, but I'm better kind of winging it, I think, most of the time. Thanks, it's great to be here. It's good to be in Las Vegas. It's still always home, always will be. Family, thank you, obviously, my parents and my brothers. Pretty sure they shaped me into being, I had one choice, and that was to be an athlete. My mom really wanted me to be a ballerina, cheerleader, all of the above, and it just wasn't going to happen. So when the opportunity came to go from Simmer on to Centennial, it was, no brainer. I'm going to go play for these great coaches. Thank you so much. Glad to be here. Appreciate it.
Next up, a 2008 graduate, women's soccer, Jenna Riddle. She'll be presented by Coach Bernie Preston.
My first meeting on Jenna was in 2003 when I was coaching with the Rebel select team. As you can tell from one of the pictures up there, she was a very energetic, kind of like a ricochet rabbit type. Jenna went on to play at U of A for a year, and then she finished her career up at UNR. And she's now living in Florida. Unfortunately, she can't be here today to receive her award, but her sister Shelby can come up and receive the award.
Just short and sweet. It's really an honor to be able to accept this award for her. She worked really hard in high school. I've always really looked up to her. I know she would want to thank all her teammates and coaches, obviously, Bernie and Jay Howard. Of course, our parents and grandparents and siblings. Thank you.
Next up, played volleyball and basketball, a 2003 graduate, Lincoln Rogers.
My name is Lincoln Rogers, graduated 2003, and it's crazy to be back here at high school and being back in the area where we grew up. Lots of good memories. This is where I met my wife. This is where it all began for us, and it's just so cool to come back here and experience this wonderful dinner.
But Lincoln is one of those athletes that is known as a multi-sport athlete. He was just as good in volleyball as he was in basketball. And as fate would have it, he ended up leading his volleyball team to an undefeated season, and they ended up winning state championship. So what Lincoln did is he became a Hall of Fame businessman, a Hall of Fame husband, and a Hall of Fame father, which I truly admire him for. I'd like to present to you our next Hall of Fame inductee, Lincoln Rogers.
But it really is amazing to come back here and have all the memories just flow in like water, and it's just been so fun to see all these women and all these, and JC, and just see all these successful athletes, and it's just, more importantly, like everybody's been hitting on, is just how awesome it transfers into the real world. It's turned out great for me. I've been so blessed. Centennial High School has been such a blessing for my life. And it just seems so surreal to be here tonight and to see everybody here, and just to I don't know, it's just been great. And then talk real quick about volleyball. Volleyball was a great experience for me, and I wish all my guys were here, because without all my buddies and our core friends, it would have been impossible without them, without my mom and dad, without everybody else. So anyways, I appreciate it, and Coach Bowles, I love you. Thank you.
Our next inductee, a 2002 graduate, volleyball and track and field, Jamie Trott.
I graduated in 2002. I competed in track and field, especially throws, so shot put and discus. Probably my favorite memory was winning state our senior year.
She was powerful and strong, and she came to us her junior year in 2000. And I just salivated, because she was this tall person with these long levers and had a heart for competition and winning that you wouldn't believe. Jamie also still holds the shot put discus record, at 41, 1.5, and 130 feet, 11. And I told her, I said, that's going to stand for a long time, and 16 years later, it still has stood. All these years later, I still haven't found that one athlete that had her drive, that had her fierceness, that had her competitiveness. And so that's her legacy here to this GROW program, to here at Centennial, and still hold it with grace, and still hold that drive, and still be a champion at whatever you conquer. So it's my pleasure tonight to introduce Jamie Trott for Hall of Fame.
So first things first, thanks to Mom and Dad, who were never afraid to support me in anything that I needed or wanted to do. My dad would always go for a run after practice if I needed it with me. My mom at one time brought me a sports bra when I forgot to bring one to class for workouts after school, so she drove all the way up here to do that. Thank you to my coaches, not only Hazel, but also Coach Bill Miller. Being as I'm a teacher, I would like to thank Miss Carol Levitt for everything that she put as a precedence here at Centennial. Being hired by the late great Pat Hayden, and he was an honor to work for, and I am now currently working for Mr. Travis Warnick, who learned from him, who learned from Ms. Levitt. So that is awesome. She's built a legacy here. I'm proud to be from here. I tell all my students, yeah, I graduated from Centennial. What are you going to do about it? So with that, thank you to the committee. This has been awesome, and I now feel that I'm really old, so 16 years went by very quickly. Thank you.
Next up, a 2008 graduate, women's golf, Alex Borchert Westover.
So my name is Alex Borchert, now Westover as well, and I graduated in 2008.
I played golf here, and Coach Cerrone was my coach, and he's still here now. And I actually went on to play college golf for UNR.
When I heard of the program in 2005, what a great group of young ladies, led by Alex, who was one of the top golfers in the state. You know, weather didn't affect her, nothing affected her. She had a goal. She'd work and work and work. And then she went to Reno and played 4 years at Reno, was a team captain at Reno. And now she's a cardiology nurse. But I gotta tell you this one funny story. And only because she put the picture up there. So I have Alex in my weight training class in high school. And her boyfriend's in there. At the time, I thought Alex could do better than that guy. And I say, is he really the guy for you? Well, Alex is married to that guy now. She married her high school sweetheart. And he was a really good kid. Very fortunate to be a part of her family and her and coach her. And what a great experience it was when I took over the golf program to have her help me out instead of me helping her out. And I present Alex Porsche to you.
I'll make this short and sweet since I'm the last of the night, but I'd like to thank my parents for all their sacrifices and taking me around the country to all my golf tournaments and for my sisters as well. And they're definitely my mentors, following in their footsteps. And my dad really instilled hard work and dedication and never giving up and striving for the best. So thank them for that. And for the Centennial staff for this event, it's been great to come back. I haven't lived in Vegas since 2008, so it's great to come back and come and relive memories. So really appreciate all the hard work you guys put into this. Coach Cerrone, I had a lot of golf coaches, and you know, you have a special place in my heart, and you know, definitely one of the best coaches I had, and not because maybe you knew a bunch about golf and knew how to terrible slice, but you know, your passion for coaching, and you know, we were your lady bulldogs, and you didn't like our boyfriends, but you loved us, and you know, your high energy. Like I would have a bad hole, and you'd come up and you'd say, "No, you got this." You know, so that type of attitude and just really made a big difference, and just, you know, carried on into the rest of my golf career and my life. So I'd like to thank you for that. And yeah, I think that's about it. Go Bulldogs.
Let's hear it one more time for Alex. Well, I think one of the cool things about hearing about everyone tonight is not only were they great athletes, it's just how awesome people they've become. And I think that's a testament to these coaches right up here. Let's give it up. And also, as many of you alluded to, you couldn't do it without your parents, so let's give it up for your parents. So before we close it out, though, we have all the inductees come up to the stage, please. And coaches, if you want to join them. All right, at this time, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce your 2018 Centennial Hall of Fame inductees. This is where if you want to come up, get some pictures, come get them. And that concludes our program. We hope you guys all had a good time, and we look forward to 2019.